Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So this video is going to be talking about that one money rule that we've all heard of. However, no one's really explained how to get to that point. So apparently by age 30, you're supposed to have 1x of your salary saved. Simple enough, right? By age 40, it should have tripled. And by age 50, it should have 6 times that. And now after hearing this, you're probably like, yeah, that's not happening. But here's the thing. Those numbers aren't meant to make you feel like you're behind. Rather, it's showing you what you can accomplish if you follow the right system for managing your money. The average Canadian or American has less than $30,000 in their savings and investment accounts. That's completely below par and nowhere near where the Fidelity Index tells us we're supposed to be at. Now that's a pretty massive gap. And if you're relying on the typical advice of saving the last 10% of your paycheck, you are almost always going to struggle, especially as you get older when it really matters. Now, this video isn't to shame you. Rather, it's about giving you the 3-stage catch-up plan to go from feeling like you're broke to actually feeling like you're working towards your financial freedom. Okay, so in your 20s, here, the specific dollar amount that you make is essentially useless. The goal here is to build a sort of bulletproof system that's going to actually work towards your finances. So in other words, eliminating everything that is your savings killer. Do you have any high interest payments? Do you have any debt? Start working towards paying those off as soon as possible. If you have a credit card with, let's say, 25% interest rate, this isn't just expensive. This is literally impossible to out-invest. You can't build wealth while your balance is literally just working against you. Okay, and stage number 2, this is the bare minimum. Open up your investment account. So if you're a Canadian, that would be your TFSA, first of all. If you're American, I think that's like your 401k or IRA, whichever one is the tax-free investment account. Now here, you don't need to worry about which stock or ETF is the right one or which one is the next NVIDIA. Rather, what you need to do is build that habit of investing at least $50 per month, because this way you can now receive the full benefit of a decades-long worth of compounding, which essentially just means that your money is growing slowly, but exponentially. And that is exactly how you win this game. And finally, track your spending. This is so boring, but it is so critical. And this is the one step that separates someone who's successful versus someone who's normal. A regular money manager versus someone who wants to build wealth. If you don't know where your money is going, how are you supposed to save it, right? By age 30, again, you're supposed to have at least 1 extra salary saved, but more importantly, you should have a 0 non-mortgage debt and a system that's already running in place that is automatically saving at least 15% of your income. I know this is a pretty big step moving forward compared to the other 2 stages, but if you want a free budget tracker to get yourself started very simply, then you can find one in the description below. Okay, now comes the decade of acceleration. You're finally earning real money, and now you're exposed to the biggest behavioral trap, which is the lifestyle creep. Your friend is buying a bigger house, your significant other wants a nicer car, you're starting to eat out a lot more. And this is where that savings gap truly comes alive. Your job in your 30s is to divorce your income from your spending. Every raise that you get, you cannot spend more than half of that on things that you want. And the other half will always go into your investment accounts. In your 20s, if you were saving 10% every paycheck, you're now hitting that non-negotiable of 15% per paycheck, minimum. Now, the goal in your 40s was to have saved 3x of your salary. But even at this stage, that still feels like a pretty big gap and almost impossible to achieve, right? But this is where the first catch-up clause comes to life. The initial 1x of your salary that you saved by 30 doesn't just sit there. Assuming a conservative 8% return, your initial 1x saved has now almost doubled and is sitting at just under 2x of your salary without you having lifting a single finger. And now the 40s are the decade of contribution, right? This is your peak earnings throughout your corporate career. And remember, the goal by 50 years old is to have saved 6x of your salary. Now, by 40, if you've already missed the 3x of your salary, you're probably going to feel a lot of pressure throughout this decade of your life. But there are 2 backup tactics that you can still deploy to catch up as best as you can. So tactic number 1 is aggressive debt elimination. I'm talking about student loans, credit card debt, or pesky car payments. Essentially 0 consumer debt. Every dollar that you free up from payment is a dollar that you could throw into your investment accounts, which is then supercharging your 6x goal by 50 years old. And tactic number 2 is the max out. The goal here is to contribute the absolute maximum into all of your investment accounts. So if you're Canadian, that's your TFSA and now your RRSP. And if you're American, it's of course the 401k. The goal here is to not fall below the threshold of investing 15% at least of your total gross income. Because if you're behind, you want to use the most powerful tool available, which is the tax-advantaged compounding on every dollar that you earn. Now, as you move into your 50s, your focus sort of shifts from accumulating to preserving. You've now hit your 6x goal, and now you're going to aim for 8x by 60 and let's say 10x by 67. Because of compounding, it'll be a lot easier than it was prior. The whole game is different here. You want to start de-escalating the risk that's associated with your portfolio and start focusing on preserving wealth. So no more high risk trading, simply wealth preservation. You might want to have to reallocate your portfolio from full equity to now more lower risk or even risk-free bonds. This is also when you want to start preparing for the two biggest future costs that you're going to face: healthcare and taxes. Meet with a financial advisor to help you map out your drawdown strategy to convert your assets into a predictable stream of retirement income. And if you're still behind, the government does still offer you a lifeline, which is the catch-up clause. Use that. So let's bring it all back. If you're worried about the gap between where you are and where the Fidelity Index says you should be, just remember the biggest factor that's contributing to this isn't market luck, but your savings rate. So aim for that 15% threshold in your 30s and let the compounding do the heavy lifting for you in your 40s. That's the entire game plan. If this video gave you any clarity, hit that like button and subscribe and help me build this community so we can all work together to build financial freedom. Now, as soon as this video is done, go and increase your savings by 1% and let the rest do the work.